Okay, so it just rained. So normally I would go all the way in there, but I don't want to get soaked. Also, I don't want to disturb this very peacefully sleeping bee. So I'll let him do his thing. Anyway, I'm very excited for this because as we know, Porsche not doing the best as a company right now, but by far their best-selling, highest volume cars are their SUVs, the Macan and the Cayenne. I've driven the gas versions of both, never driven the electric ones. Very, very interested in how good they can be because theoretically, they should be the best possible versions of those vehicles. So I hope to get to the electric Cayenne at some point, but the thing that's going to stand out here about this Macan, and it's the turbo, so it's the super really nice fast one, is the price tag. This is competing in the same product category as like a Tesla Model Y Performance or a Hyundai Ioniq 5N, but it's at 2 or 3 times the price of those cars. So how is it going to justify? I am so curious how it's going to justify being dramatically more expensive than those. Now that I've driven it for a week, it definitely is more premium and it's way more well equipped than a lot of what it's theoretically competing against, but 2 or 3 times the price, that I'll let you be the judge of that. But let's get into the basics. So the EV Macan, like we said, fully electric, dual motor, all-wheel drive, 630 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 3.1 seconds. It's rated at a 280 mile range. Got about 100 kilowatt hour battery, and its base price is about $112,000, but as tested, it's almost $150,000. Now I like Porsche, you guys know that already. I am willing to give this a chance at justifying being worth that much money, but it's gonna have to be pretty incredible to be worth $150,000 over a Model Y Performance. But let's get into it, because there's actually a lot going on here that makes it really, really impressive and super premium and well equipped. So you start at the front, and this is actually a good place to show you the key, the Porsche key. I really like this key. And at the front of the key, you have your front trunk button, and it actually power opens. Well, not power opens, but it does unlatch and open by itself, which gives you a decent amount of trunk space, as well as a Porsche branded divider here, which you can use to put something small over here, I guess. It's a small front trunk. I think it's about 3 cubic feet, but you can then manually close it and latch it. A lot of EVs don't have a front trunk, so that's nice to see. But at the front, you have your pretty classic Porsche look there. You see the lights, you see the headlights down here, and then your arrow. It's not the most aggressive thing. It's a little bit of a shorter nose and a shorter wheelbase than a Cayenne, but you know, it looks like a Porsche, nothing too crazy. 22-inch wheels, pretty traditional looking on the side here. Big red brake calipers, and then you see it says electric on the side. You move down the side. These new Porsches, a lot of this model year has this new turbonite color. So the logo on the hood, it's like this sort of a carbon gray type of color. And then a lot of the accent colors along the side and the window trim are also in this color. The roof rack is in this color. And then you get to the back here, another 22-inch rim. And then one of your, oh, gotta unlock the car. I always forget about that with these EVs. Unlock the car to open the charge port. 2 charge ports, just like the Cayenne. On the left, you get your full CCS, and on the right, you just have your level 2 charger. Then you get to the back, and rear windshield wipers, kind of nice. I also like the lights on the back of the Macan. You can see those are the tail lights here. And if we want to open the tailgate, which does also power open, you'll see it's a pretty good amount of space with a folding second row. I feel like that's a pretty standard trunk. You can see here, there's a button to raise and lower that air suspension, which, you know, we'll talk about that suspension in a bit. Your 110 outlet, plenty of room for your adapters, and a tiny bit of a sub trunk, which you get into just like that. Also a big subwoofer that you can close it. Would you think the Macan or the Cayenne is a better, more convincing full EV from Porsche? I want to test that thing. Seems insane. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.